Hello and welcome to this video series on data and data modeling. In this video series, we'll focus on what is describing the purpose of a database. We'll also explain the difference between data, information, and knowledge. And then we'll dive into analyzing various data models, looking at what is a conceptual data model versus a logical, and what is the difference between a logical versus a physical data model. So what is a database? If you had to describe a database to someone else, what are some of the main characteristics of a database? So here's a working definition, and I've highlighted and I've bolded certain words in this working definition. One is organized collection of data. It's structured information, and then also another way you can characterize a database is that it's stored electronically in a computer system. So there's a lot of different types of databases that are used, but the two overarching categories is one will be a relational database, which is more like your tables and your rows, and then you have non-relational, which doesn't use table and rows. With relational, you may have heard of a popular language called SQL, which stands for Structured Query Language, and it's very structured in the sense that you use tables to have these relationships between the tables, and then non-relational, there is no per se tables, but rather there's different ways of structuring out the data. With non-relational databases, you'll find that these databases are used to manage something called big data. And so typically companies run what they call a polyglot pre-existence or persistence, where they have multiple databases running at the same time. So you have relational databases, you have non-relational databases, and then again, your non-relational databases are really good with dealing with big data. One of the databases we'll take a look at later is one specifically called MongoDB, where it uses something called JSON, which stands for JavaScript Object Notation, to structure out the data. So one of the things I would encourage you to do is to do some research on some of these different databases. Some of these rise in popularity, they fall in popularity, but nonetheless, these are some of the more prominent databases that you will find being utilized in a variety of different number of applications. All right, so just to recap in terms of what is a database, if we go back to our working definition, so organized collection of structured information that's stored electronically. And so in our next video, we're going to dive in and talk about what is data and how do we transform raw data to information, to knowledge, to intelligence. And we'll find that the companies who are able to do this successfully are the companies who are competitive, who typically beat out competition, and who are well positioned to use that data for strategic insight. Stay tuned.